how did the contact with Disney came to be, and in which way did this cooperation help you in making the series become a reality?
In terms of the first steps on how the whole thing started, it's kind of like a magical story. So the beginning of the story was when a BBC interview at the time, and in the interview, a certain someone, myself, said we're gonna kick Disney's "You Know What" in Africa.
Mm.
Now, when I say that, it's one of those things. Interestingly, I thought, oh, that was a bit harsh to say in a way like that. I don't normally talk like that, but it went out there, and good thing it was that harsh in that it caught the attention of the folks in Disney. And then
Mhm.
I'll pass it down to Ziki since he was the first one who got the message. I got the second message, but Ziki will give the experience from getting the first message.
Yeah, so they actually sent us a message on LinkedIn. One of the Disney executives that was working there at the time, her name is Elsa Bokuzi. And there was a long dialogue between our company, Kugali, and Disney. And eventually it became clear that there was interest in on both sides to collaborate. And they basically told us, hey, we'd love to collaborate with you to create a series. And they invited us to pitch a whole bunch of ideas. Iwaju was the one that we landed on. And in terms of the various roles that we played between Disney and Kugali, I would say fundamentally Disney, and in particular Disney Animation, they're a very storyteller slash director led company. And so I think generally the ethos of the company is to facilitate or help directors or do everything they can to facilitate directors and storytellers realizing their vision. So what they wanted from us was the vision and the ability to oversee the execution of that vision. And they did everything that they could to help facilitate that.
Okay, but uh, did you have to tone down in some aspects because did you, for example, did you have to fight for a story to be told like it is now? I didn't expect it to be this dark and with a lot of heavier themes than I expected from an animated Disney series. It's a lot less adventure like the trailer suggested.
Okay, well, I would say there were certain boundaries, but not from the perspective of toning things down to match the Disney way of telling stories. It was more of this has to remain child friendly. So anything that a family cannot watch together, a parent can watch with their kid, we would have to either take it out or find a way to say it so that it doesn't appear as harsh. And then also, this being an international collaboration, it means if I, as a Nigerian, want to say something, perhaps I want to make a negative criticism of the Nigerian government, we can't do that because it would look like an American company is saying something negative about the Nigerian government. So that's just common sense. Those are things we shouldn't do. But in terms of the actual story, it wasn't toned down. We told the story we wanted to tell, but it was definitely they definitely guided us in selling it in a particular way. And because Ziki is both the writer and director, I think he can speak more to that if you want to add anything.
Yeah, I think that there is inevitably going to be a culture clash because Kugali is a company created by Africans, run by Africans, and we're also a startup as well. So we have our own company culture. And then Disney is a 100-plus-year-old company based, or at least originally based out of America, that has their own culture as well. So there were definitely cultural differences in our approach to storytelling and creativity. And so there were definitely times where there would be differences of opinions. And sometimes, as at least from my own personal purview, there are sometimes where I really had to stick to my guns and say, you know what, no, I really believe in this particular aspect. But there are other times as well where I saw the wisdom in the Disney perspective. And I think that the series ultimately represents the strengths of what both Kugali and Disney bring to the table.
Absolutely. I absolutely love the story and like I said, the themes and everything. Now, because we don't have that much time left, the last question: what do you hope people will take away from watching your series, from watching Iwaju?
From a world perspective, we want people to get to understand African culture a little bit better and African stories a little bit better. And just that sharing from Africa to the world, that Africa can actually do this as well. We want people to kind of receive that and be like, oh my God, this story is actually amazing. And actually dig into it and find other African stories they can get to enjoy. There's a lot we have on our website at Kugali, but also different creators as well. Come and enjoy all of them. If you enjoy Iwaju, you're probably going to enjoy the others we got.
I was already looking at the comics on your site.
Thank you. Thank you very much.